Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and today is October the 1st. I'm going to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21 at gmail.com. I'm looking forward to the meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that screen and see what the title of it is. Okay, here we are. It's not entitled that. That was yesterday. Here we go. Compassion is contrary action. Compassion is contrary action. So we're talking about compassion today. Let's see what it has to say. Our instinct is to meet disease with disease. But when we meet it with love and compassion instead, we create an opportunity for recovery. I like that. Guiding principle, tradition 1 for members. As harmonious as we may wish Narcotics Anonymous to be, there are times when another member's behavior really gets under our skin and seems to demand that we respond in kind. Maybe they tear into us verbally or try to goad us into a physical altercation. A member's actions can place our meeting's location in danger. We've also seen members try to undermine a group decision, and when it doesn't go their way, take to social media to badmouth NA. And what about members who act in these ways but never make amends for their behavior? How dare they mess with our serenity? That's a question and an exclamation. Okay, so let's go further and see what they have to say. Our first impulses will likely be to respond to another's resentment, selfishness, or accusations with our own. We can, however, cool our own fury and consider its source. Meeting another's disease with compassion means that we suspend judgment. We try to separate the person from their disease. Maybe they're going through a rough time. Maybe we unintentionally disrespected them and they don't know how to express their pain in another way. Maybe they are afraid of being wrong and looking uncool in the face of controversy. Maybe they're just misinformed. And maybe we're more alike than we care to admit. Bingo. At the end of the day, we are all recovering as best we can. Having compassion for another doesn't mean we ignore issues that arise. With unity as a priority, we end up practicing a lot more acceptance than our disease would otherwise have it. We may not understand where someone is coming from, but we can recognize the feelings and relate. Ideally, our response will consider what's best for the common good. With practice, we spend a little less energy contemplating how we might meet disease with disease. We learn the benefits of responding with compassion instead. Next time someone flips out on me or the group, I'll test my meeting them with compassion instead of my ego. What's best for the group is best for my recovery. Oh, we are going to need to take a moment of silence for that one. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Wow, 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 wow. I appreciate this meditation. I appreciate this meditation. And I want to really say, I have like a whole bunch of people I want to send this to text message. I want to send a copy of this to them so that they can read it for themselves and stop clowning at the meetings. Just stop it already. Oh, they are trying they're trying everything in me. But you know what? I have a made up mind that when I am disturbed, and I don't get disturbed often, not about other people's behavior, not anymore, because I know I can't control them, right? I can control my responses. But when I do, now I would say 9.99% of the time, it's justified, right? And I give that action, that thing that's rubbing me the wrong way. I give it time to to be seeped in. I think about it. I meditate about the situation. For some people say that you might say obsessed, but no, I meditate on the action. This is part of my step 10, right? So I think about my side of the street and I think about their side of the street. And I think about how do I free myself of this dis-ease? How do I free myself of this lack of comfort with them based on their behavior and they're affecting the group too, right? I think about that. I think about Narcotics Anonymous. And one more thing I think about that people may not realize, but I think about my relationship with my higher power. I think about God. And I think about how He would want me, right? God, my higher power. How would my higher power want for me to handle this situation? Because for me, there's a few things about my spirituality that I do know. If I don't know anything else, one thing is certain and two things are for sure. What I know about Mighty Stream spirituality, my relationship with my higher power is absolute. There's nothing that I will ever allow to distract me from the time and the energy, the adoration, the intimacy that I have with my higher power. And that's the first thing I know for sure. And two things are certain. And the second thing that is certain is that I will never intentionally, and that doesn't mean I don't go left sometimes, but attribute it to my mind and not my heart. I will not, in my heart, ever intentionally do something that is going to separate me mentally and emotionally, physically or spiritually from my higher power. One thing is certain, two things are for sure, right? That I love my higher power and I maintain that relationship by making sure that there's no disconnect. And disconnect happens for me when I act out. Disconnect happens for me when I get overly passionate about a situation and I try to take it into my own hands. And before you know it, I am in straight let's get it on mode. I'm straight the rumble in the jungle. Yes, I'm telling you the truth about Mighty Stream. I'm telling you the truth. That's why I said the other day I get too passionate about stuff and then I go straight left, right? So I want you to think about who you are. Think about how you are responding to certain people and situations in the meeting. Think about it. Because sometimes people will sniper share, not only just cross share, they will sniper share. They will come straight for you in the meeting. They don't mind talking about the situation in the meeting in their share. Everybody knows what they're talking about. You know they're talking to you, and you know that you are sitting on the other side of the room and you are enduring this humiliation because this member is taking the meeting hostage and making sure everyone knows where you stand, where they stand with you. And you're sitting here and accepting it for the sake of the group because you don't want to make a scene. I know that must have happened to you because this has happened to me. Or maybe if it hasn't happened, maybe you were the one with the sniper share. Maybe you don't really understand. Some things are not for the rooms. If you got a personal problem, that's something that you need to take outdoors and handle it in a mature way over coffee. Because at the end of the day, we're more alike than not, right? We have more similarities than differences. We're all addicts seeking recovery and doing the best that what we can. Don't get it confused here. Today it might be me, but tomorrow it will be you. Because this is how life works. Everyone is going to get 15 minutes of fame and quite often, many times. Not only in a week or a month, but throughout the whole year of your recovery. And if you haven't experienced this yet at all, this is one of those meditations you need to say. My stream said October 1st is one I need to mark with a 5-star. You want to mark this. You want to remember this one because it's one of the most up-to-date meditations that we have. Right. It's talking about how people might take to social media to badmouth NA. Matter of fact, someone joined, I can't remember. I just saw their comments last night, and they made a comment about this fellowship being a cult. And they made that comment about, oh, I want to say 6 days or so. And I don't know where it got. I just overlooked it. And I finally saw it. Do you know I refuse to respond to stuff like that? I refuse. I absolutely refuse because I know how much Narcotics Anonymous saved me spiritually and helped me to get back on my feet. I don't ever want to desecrate the atmosphere of recovery, even here on this channel. I don't ever want to. If I don't have anything good to say, baby, I'm not going to say anything at all because there's other people that are watching and monitoring. And the more I spew negativity, the more opportunity it is for other people to pick up that same. Someone might be listening on this channel and you listen to me every day and you're struggling to put the dope down. Maybe you're still using, but you're still doing the meditation, right? And then here comes someone I don't even know out of nowhere making rude comments about Narcotics Anonymous. And you just happen to be in a funk at the time that you listen to the podcast and see the comments. And your negative automatic thoughts tell you, that's right. I shouldn't even be listening to this channel. See, and then you think for some reason that you can continue to use and you don't need Narcotics Anonymous to help you. And you end up going beyond recall. Now, every person is responsible for their own actions. But could that type of comment, that type of behavior in the meetings, those types of things that we might say, bad mouthing other people, cross sharing, sniper sharing, could that not have played into someone that has a weak link in their foundation of recovery and push them away? Do what I what I do affect others and their ability to recover smoothly, right? And as it said here, maybe that Never make an amends. They never come back to the group and say that was inappropriate. I'm sorry, and I'll never do that again. They never make amends to people. They just go through their life doing what they want to do. Nobody checks them. They bring that nasty attitude into the meeting. Newcomers see it, and they're like, I don't want to be here. This is too much like being in the streets. Come on, somebody. I know you know what I'm talking about because either you've experienced it on either end of the stick, right? You may have done it or it's been done to you. We need to be compassionate even in contrary situations. The next time somebody flips out on you or the group, test your ability to meet it with compassion instead of your ego. Sort it out, process it, unpack it before you go about making comments and responding, because somebody's life, maybe even your own, might be at stake. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. And God willing, I will be talking to you tomorrow. In the meantime, have a beautiful day on purpose.